Tier 1. Next set of Tier 1 games. Alright, in the top right-hand corner, as the orange Protoss, we have Tim. And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the blue Terran, we have Neblime. So a little more PvT action, probably going to be giving us long games. I guess that's not a guarantee, but it's not uncommon to get some fairly long games. And again, these are two guys I don't know all that well, so I don't know what to expect from either of them. As I get the all-important hydration. And put the barracks over there, have a nice little spot to micro the Marine. And the gateway here from Tim. And looking like some pretty normal openings here from both of our players. Actually, wait, is Neblime going to take gas? No, it's looking like Neblime is going to go Rack CC, but Rack CC in the natural, or Rack CC in the main. Alright, so yeah, definitely an economic opener here from Neblime. And we're getting core up from Tim. Should see an SCV going out right about now to make that command center. Gonna be a bit late on the SCV. Oh, unless, okay, wants to make a Marine first. Alright, that's fine. I guess that makes sense. I thought it was usually 15 CC. But going for Marine first. So not too late on the command center the way he's doing it. And is that misplaced? Is that a hex off? Feel like it's a hex off. I might be going crazy, but I feel like it's maybe a hex off for Neblime. I need my grid to see. It might be right. It might be right. I might just be going crazy. First refinery going up. SCV is going to arrive and see, hey, everything looks normal. Just one gate. It's getting goon range. I feel all right about this. Dragoon chasing the SCV out. Okay. Can't get another hit down, and Tim throws down his Nexus. Yeah, I guess it's just the angle I'm looking at it from. Alright, and bunker, of course, starts for Neblime. No floated racks yet. A lot of times it's common if you're going rack CC to do more of a barracks supply thing, get a wall going so you can more easily defend against any initial zealot pressure. But of course, Tim didn't opt for that, so it's been a very comfortable expansion so far for Neblime. Second gateway going up pretty fast though for Tim, so I think we will see at least a little bit of Dragoon pressure on this bunker, as we're still quite a ways away from a factory. First factory is put down. Okay, I should have rephrased that. Quite a ways away from a tank. We're actually very close to a factory, as you guys just saw. A little SCV transfer here from Dark Matter, taking the weird route around back. Or did I call him Dark Matter? It's Neblime. It's Neblime. Whoop. Alright, so Goon positioned. Wow. Oh, this is very bold. It is going to work. Oh no. Ooh. That was... I mean, yeah, that was cute by Neblime. I can understand why Tim was not paying attention to it. And cute little risk from Neblime. Took a risk, it paid off. And Tim is probably going, ah, no. Now, I don't think he'll try it again. Does need to get some over there to repair. There we go. But yeah, I don't think we'll see him try that tactic again. Because, of course, if Neblime tries that and Tim is 100% there paying attention, he just micros back and gets free shots off on the Marines. Okay, so our add-on's almost done. Still a ways away from a tank and repair. And a very fast third base in response from Tim against this. Whoa, okay, there we go, there we go. Line him up, line him up. Now we got some pressure on that bunker. Eating a little bit of money. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. All right. No academy, right? Oh, actually, there is an academy. But he did not get range. He just wants scanners. Scanner, scan. Scanner. Scanner equals new scanner system.in. Anyway. Oh, what is he? He wants an SCV. He gets one. Of course, we got 4 Marines in that bunker. That's pretty safe there. So if Tim gets this expansion up comfortably, then he's kind of back in it economically. However, if Terran cuts somewhat hard and goes for, yeah, like a little, like 3 factory timing or 4 factory with a hard cut, that can be a bit scary. Now, he's already gotten an academy, so that limits the cut ability and whatnot, but might see acute timing here from Neblime. Of course, Neblime, well, we'll see. He already threw down a scan. Has he scanned at the 3rd location? Yes. Looks like he has. So he does know that this 3rd exists, and that explains probably why he's going pretty abruptly to 4 factories with SCV cut. Seeing that, I'm assuming the SCV cut's not accidental. I'm assuming we're going to see Neblime try to hit a timing. And his window here is definitely early. Like, his window is getting close to where it's going to close. He needs to move out probably in the next, I don't know, 20-30 seconds, I would think. As the factory count goes up, we're going to see a lot of vultures, it seems like, as part of this. Because right now, look at what Protoss got. He's got 4 Dragoons. Only 2 gateways. Like, okay, he's got a few more than 4 Dragoons, but he doesn't have that many Dragoons. I don't like the fast cannon. I really dislike the fast cannon. Once you've scouted, maybe, then you can throw a cannon down. But, like, if Terran's going dropship, the cannon's not so bad. But against something like this, that cannon is just less Dragoons you have to deal with this. So, let's see how Neblime's execution is. He's ready to roll with this 5-fact. I believe he has the kind of timing where he can make something like this work. We got, what, 4? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we got 8 Dragoons. Well, the tank count is a bit low, though. I would love to see this with 5 or 6 tanks. So we'll see what he can do. It might be possible here to delay this long enough for these gateways to kick in, because we can see the macro gates are going down now. 3, 4. He needs more gateways than that, though. We've got 6. Probably needs to get to 7 or 8. Leaving 1 tank behind, a bit risky. The mine's being laid down, but he's got to be wary of vultures being picked off here, even if he is going to have a lot of reinforcements. However, I don't think these vultures have speed. Oh, they don't have speed, do they? No, they don't have speed. Alright, so slow volts can get picked off. This is actually not going anywhere right now for Neblime. So Neblime, I feel like, is kind of throwing away an advantage. This is way too bold. I don't know what he's... Okay, some vultures do arrive, but without speed, like... Now Tim's got to back up. Just buy time. But this army is not scary. 3 or 4 tanks is not that scary in these vulture numbers, especially as macro from these gateways kicks in, and it looks like Neblime or Tim has bought enough time for himself. Neblime just going to try to go around. Okay, that's a little safer. Got to back these Dragoons up. Got to back them up. Back them up. Don't lose them needlessly. Army is getting a bit bigger from Neblime. And it looks like Tim wants to set for some sort of a flank, but some very nice mines being laid to cover the rear of the push here by Neblime as he moves up, and I think these Dragoons are going to indeed back up, yes. Continuing to just buy time. Do we have a thing? Yes, we're getting leg speed, so he's about to have legs, and lots of slots with legs, is getting the shuttle out, and Neblime, it looks like Neblime is going to expand behind this, which is good. Still working off just that 1 factory, missing a lot of vultures out of his push, though. A lot of open factory time, a lot of non-macro time. Okay, so 2 more goons go down. That's one thing that's not helping Neblime's cause, is Tim is continuing to bleed units, now loading up that shuttle. 3 zealots, 2 sets of goons, and we'll see. Sieging up, I think, is this going to be it? Is Tim going to pull the trigger? No, he's not ready to yet. He is doing a good job keeping his army out on the map. Looks like he's going to try to bomb the tanks, and this is a weakness of this. There's not much in the way of defense. Unfortunately, there's no mines. He's going to try to occupy the tanks, but the target firing is pretty decent. And now the Dragoons run in, and are there enough? Is the spread? Would like to see a little more spread. The Dragoons are a bit too clumped. He has enough to break this up. He just needs to spread him a bit more. And it looks like with reinforcements, there we go. Nice reinforcement timing. Tim has taken care of that timing from Neblime. So now he has this small window here where he can harass. I'm still driving. He's lack of... Does he not know he doesn't have speed? Because not having speed on your vultures is really a problem. Very slow reinforcements, and vultures just lose a lot of their valuable utility like that. And now he has to deal with the counter from Tim, presumably to his third. Tim eating a few too many mines here for my liking. And we're going to have a small counter over here. Oh, can he get a tank over? Oh, he's unsieging, but he is sending zealots. But the Dragoons are on top of the base. Now he needs to bring the rest of his army over here and help defend, because once a tank gets over, this will be cleaned up with just Dragoons. Good mine drag there. He gets one more good one, but the tank has made it over, and we're down to just 1 Dragoon, so that will get cleaned up. And fortunately for Neblime, he's going to get his base up. We got 2 Stargates. We got a Tribunal. We just need to double-click A and A there from Tim. Whoa, I didn't realize that did that. Holy moly, that's interesting. Alright, well, A is apparently disable everything. That looks so weird. Looks so weird. Anyway. Third base going up here for Tim. Vulture's going to come over and harass it. Dragoons are quite far out of position. This is almost enough vultures to threaten a Nexus. He may get a cancel out of this. Snipes the probe. Is he not? Oh, he's not going to attack the Nexus. Maybe he's just going to lay mines. I don't know. I didn't lay enough mines. I don't think he can get a cancel out of that. If that was 8 to 12 vultures, he could definitely get a cancel out of this. But at this number, nah. I think Protoss will get over here in time. Hopefully, we'll eat a few less mines doing so. Unfortunately, these mines are a bit out of position for this army. But these mines could be annoying, depending on how many get soaked up. So yeah, not going to be able to force a cancel on the Nexus, but is getting some decent Zealot kills. And finally those vultures do go down. Although, you know, decent damage. Like I said, they were in the ballpark. 8 vultures would have denied that Nexus, a few more mines, etc. Got a group of vultures laying some mines over here. Did he finally have speed now? Yeah, he's got speed. All right, vultures are fast. This is what I like to see. We're getting some more factories up now. Got going to 6 factories. Got the starport. Getting some armories going. Looks like that'll be very nice armory timing to get that 2-1 going. Right away, ASAPly. And double arbiters for Tim. Getting a bunch of gateways, keeping on top of that macro fairly well. Ooh, Vulture's finding a few probes to try and eat. Just running right through, very determined to kill those probes. Looks like they got probably half of that transfer. Do we have, yeah, we have a forge. It's over here. Second or first armor? Second armor, second attack. So Protoss staying on top of his attack upgrades pretty nicely. 5, 5. Got 12 gates here in the main. Got the 4th base up and running. Getting his 5th base. Only other thing would maybe be to start getting some gates in this base as the money kicks in. Starting to mine up a little bit to deal with the potential threat of recall. keeping those mines mostly cleared out. And there we go, starting recall. There are 2 arbiters out, right? Yes. Oh, and nicely split onto different control groups. That's always a good thing to do if you're a newer Protoss. If you put all your arbiters on a single control group, well, you know how they tend to clump up, which makes them beautiful EMP targets. If you put them all on individual hotkeys with the rest of your units, then you can usually, especially if you spread out before a PvT fight, you can have arbiters coming in a bit wider and they don't all get one EMP that just crushes your soul. 5th base going up uncontested here. And now Tim is maxed, so we see a control group, 2nd small control group. They're all 3 small control groups, but yeah, okay, there we go. That's a 4th, and enough to round out all those other control groups. The only thing I don't like about these groupings is they're all Zealot Goon mixes, which is a little bit inefficient for mine clearing. It's a little nicer if you can have, like, you know, your goons, 2 groups of goons and 2 groups of Zealots on separate keys. You can clear mines a little bit easier. But of course, right now, Tim, with the complete smothering map control, means he knows there's no mines on the map, so it's not really a problem at this point. Later on, it can become an issue. We'll see if that is the case. And I love this beautiful Arbiter production here. Queuing Arbiters maybe a little too much, but getting a few gateways up right now, Tim should really focus on getting another good, solid 15-20 gates up, as his money is just going to go up high. And this is not recommended. I think this is accidental, though. Donates about a control group for free. That will get those Arbiters producing, though. So unless he wanted to produce Arbiters with that. But he's going to have like 6 Arbiters, which is a metric ton of Arbiters. Maybe keeping these in the base for recall? Maybe he's just going to recall anyway? Over here? Come in here to 3rd base? That would be a scary recall, honestly. It'd probably kill most of the SCVs. Only 1 tank. Oh, nope. Nope, needs to come to this base from the top. He can definitely get in here and recall. Unfortunately, loses an Arbiter to do that. And so now he's going to sadly go home, having telegraphed his intentions to Terran. It's not going to prompt any more turrets there, but I'm sure Neblime is very happy he built the number of turrets he did over here. So we're going to get a 2nd forge, get those armor and shields, attack and shield spinning quickly. Attack and armor spinning, and then shields. Alright, now we're getting the gateway count up at the 2nd base, and possibly an engagement over here. Are we going to have any pre-stasis? That is a lot of tanks, though. Good solid 2 groups of tanks there. And this is not enough here, in all honesty. I hope he doesn't pull the trigger on this. Alright, he's going to back up. Vulture's chasing a bit far. Alright, now he's bringing down some more of his units. Looks like he has a little more of his army down here. Still needs to grab the rest of these guys, but is cannibalizing the map, doing a good job of expanding. Just a question of, can he get a decent engagement against this large, scary, terrifying Terran army? Alright, so we're going to have a swing up. Oh, this is not the best place to attack for Protoss. I don't feel like this fight is going to go well from Tim, but maybe I'll be wrong. We'll see. Actually, there are some pretty good pre-stasis though, and Vultures are kind of far in the front, but the Zealots are gone. This is the moment where Tim needs to back up. He needs to feel it and back up. Are there reinforcing Vultures? There should be. Actually, this is going better than expected, but it's so easy to overstay your welcome. And yeah, Tim close to doing that. Look how much stuff is stasis too. This is, when this unstasis is, it's going to do well. But nice macro from Tim. You can see supply for Tim has not dropped that much during the fight, which means that pretty much all of his gateways are going to work for him. So that is fantastic. Like, that's one of the easiest ways to lose a game, is do a fight like that and don't macro during that fight, and then all of a sudden Terran's totally left and you have nothing popping out of your gateways. That's rough. That's rough. Alright, so Neblime just waiting everything to unstasis. Still has quite a lot of supply. A good trade, but Neblime is kind of getting, well, he's taking a 4th, but he's kind of getting to that point where Protoss is taking control of the whole map, and he really needs a good engagement to go his way. Oh, Vulture's finding a few probes to kill over here. That's obnoxious. Laid a few mines. Has a few control groups just chilling. Oh, we've got a recall, I think, over to this base. Looks like a recall given the energy on the Arbiter. And that is very annoying for Neblime, because Neblime needed that base. He's starting to mine out. And he just lost that base. Lots of army over here to defend. Not enough to stasis the ramp or do anything obnoxious. And it looks like Protoss just wants to fight this straight up. Not really getting any tank kills, though he's trying to buy time to snipe the command center. That is not going to happen. But... well, I didn't think that was going to happen. No, it's still not going to happen. But it definitely did buy more time than I expected. SCVs are over here, should get a repair on that command center here any moment. Once he notices it's in the red. Oh, Neblime has a group over here. Definitely not enough to deal with anything of Tim's. I really hope Tim's going to notice this command center is dying. But there is a lot of action going on right now. What's Terran at? 3-1? 2-1. 2-1 versus 3-1. Protoss. Wow. Good upgrades from Protoss. EMPs? EMPs? EMP? No? Again, not enough from Protoss, I don't think, to overrun this position. Although it's going better than I expected, actually. Somehow Protoss is going to come close to taking this fight. And actually, Neblime forced to retreat a little slow to reinforce that. And, oh, he did notice the command center, thankfully, in the fray. That is a very important object, and it looks like some nice... no more target firing. But still, it's starting to look a little bit grim for Neblime now. He's making no headway here. He's having trouble holding on to this base. Goon's constantly harassing, and his army out here is kind of stuck. Reinforcement for Tim. Is it going to be on time? Not really, but there's only tanks here, and the rest of the army is sort of AFKing right now, allowing this engagement to go very well for Tim. There is still repair, but look at this. Zealot's picking off the SCV. He is floating that command center away, and finally, this spot is going to stabilize? Just barely? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, holy fuck. It's going to be close. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh my gosh. That was really close. I was actually scared for a second. He really has to keep this command center alive. It's still not looking good, but he's got to keep this command center alive. He cannot afford to lose it. Wow, that was a desperation repair. And oh shit. Oh, if he just recalls right. Oh, nice EMP though. Sick. So totally shuts down that Arbiter, but you know what? But there's a lot. Let's see. No, actually. Does he get it in time? No, he should go on top of the tanks. It's a better spot. Does he want to go? Alright, we're going to have a chase. We're going to have a chase. Where are we going? Is he going main? No, this is not going to work out. This is going to die. This is going to die. Damn, a recall here, that would have been the perfect spot. Maybe he was afraid of getting EMP'd, but he recalls with like this army right there. These tanks are fucked. They're clumped, and there's no vulture support. So missed a good EMP opportunity. And we got to transfer over to that base. And I don't know. There's not a whole lot Neblime can do. He just needs to be like very, very turtley and try to somehow get control of one half of the map or the other now. But the problem is, it's really, there's not a lot he can do, because he's mining off this one and a half bases, and I mean, he is really well defended against recall, which is going to be tried again with double Arbiter. I say he's really well defended. Let's see if I'm right about that. I'm decently right about that. He couldn't even get an Arbiter in. He needs Halu to get in at this point. That actually would have been the one spot the Arbiter could have recalled that would have been somewhat effective. But the problem here is it's going to take him quite a while to get up another decent army. Like this is almost a desperation push. The only way I think he could play this now would be to like sort of slow. Oh, he's going to turn around. He's scared. Would be to sort of slow creep and try to get control over half of the map and just split the map. Because he can't really mass up another army and be aggressive. And now it looks like Tim just wants to slam himself down the throat of Terran. D-Matrix goes down in the front Vulture, but honestly this looks like more than inadequate Terran units, although some major AFKing here from Protoss' army. That is some derp-heavy Dragoon behavior that might actually allow Terran to hold this. Still probably not enough. D-Matrix is doing their part, though, to keep things alive. Mine goes off. Okay, so everything does get cleaned up here. And all Protoss needs to do now is just break this location, and it's formally over. Continuing to do his best with those D-matrices, has a lot of energy on those science vessels. Dragoons walking immediately on top of the tanks. Just needs to reinforce this a little bit more, and he'll break this position because Neblime's macro can't keep up, and we all know Terran doesn't usually do as well in tiny, small-scale fights in most cases. Units here on hold position. I don't know why they're on hold position. So here comes the next reinforcement, but that's not enough to attack this. Yeah, and he wisely says, okay, I'll pull back. Nice mainlining of probes away from that expansion. It is mined out. Could maybe have 1 or 2 mining here to get the last of these mining patches, but, you know, that's small change. Alright, so we're going to have a small move out towards the top. Actually, going to find a nice intercept on these probes, so that's at least a small victory, and Neblime needs every possible victory he can right now to change the tide. And there we go. Finally, we have the recall over to the bottom base, cleaned up here, and that's it for mining. I mean, Neblime's broke. Completely broke. He's going to get a bottom base kill, possibly a top base kill, but honestly, if there's arbiters with energy, I don't know where they are. Yeah, this arbiter with energy could just go over here, do a recall up here, kill him when he moves up, but I mean, he's got no money. He's done mining. He's going to try to secure, I think, this side and mine in desperation, but I don't really see it working out. Protoss is so determined to do this recall. I think he's going to get in here now, and that's actually going to be annoying in its own right. He does get a recall down. A few zealots in here, a few dragoons. Tanks are derping hardcore, but he's going to pull back up into these... Oh! Ooh, big mine to back. Unit's still over here blocking the mining. He is pushing his way up into this top base, so that is good for Neblime. And he has floated the command center very fast, so good on Neblime, but can he stabilize his main? I honestly... There's nothing coming out of these factories, and Protoss is right over top of them. There's this one tank here. And of course, with these turrets down, now the recall path is wide open. There's only that one turret to defend that. Neblime, no! No, you need to mine, like, right away! Hey, he has done a very good job, though, floating these double CCs. But he's having... Oh, that's crushing. That's soul crushing. Alright, he's literally having to float his factories over here. Although, actually, the factory float might draw Protoss over here, and Protoss might just have some problems with these tanks and mines. Oh, he's literally right-clicked the factory, so that's kind of fortunate. I mean, I'm trying to find small victories here for Neblime, guys. Like, it's obviously looking very, very terrible. Oh, he's going to completely just float. Alright. Well, now that's pretty much saying, alright, I give up. One recall over here, just, there's not enough units. One recall ends it. No way he can defend. Like, science vessels need to be defending the shit out of this. And it looks like Protoss is going to opt to bust the main to block all of Neblime's production. Kill off all the remaining depots. He's already forced the factory float, but yeah, I guess coming in and killing the depots is nice. Will he stop the 3rd armor upgrade? I don't know. I'm looking for small victories, guys. I mean, he is finally mining, but of course Protoss has a 7k bank. And he's got an arbiter ready for recall over here. Neblime is actually setting up for recalls in a hurry. But the dangerous recall is to anywhere over here, which there's still some bottom paths available, or anything in here. Setting up a boatload of turrets, but again, you know, supply depots, everything like that getting killed off. Neblime is going to be pretty much blocked when all these depots finally fall. And he's still a long way from his factories reaching his destination. But this is the epitome of the Terran life, if you will. Defend, 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 defend till the end. Defend until literally everything is dead, and then defend some more. Until your last unit falls, until your last tank falls, your last CC is dead, and you stop defending. Okay, he has moved this arbiter around a little bit, so I think he's aware of it. Sometimes it's difficult to keep track of where everything is when you're trying to play fast in the middle of a game. But again, the defense is pretty solid here from Neblime. Alright, here we go. Are we paying attention? No, we are not. Oh shit. Is this game ending? Is it enough? don't think it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's enough. Well, maybe Neblime can get back. Maybe. If there's a second recall to follow it up with, though, there's not. And he is going for it. Can he get this Arbiter inside? Oh my gosh, this is going to be perfect. Right on top of the tanks. Even the mines are enough to do it. And I think that's it. Neblime has, like, nothing left. Although, actually, there's still not that much Protoss in his main... Oh, one... Okay, that's it. There we go. Triple, quadruple recall into Arbiters. Finally ends it. And Tim takes game 1 over Neblime. And I get logged out of Battle.net. That happens way too often. Oh, fuck off. Let me in, man. Let me in, man. Come on, let me in. Alright. Game number 2. Neblime has opted to play on Roadkill for our second set, one of the ladder maps. Alright, so spawning... What did I just do? What was the button for that? I hit some button that does this. And at one point, oh well, I can just put them all back that way, I guess. Not 2x. I'm missing a button. What do I need? There we go. Alright, now it looks good. So, spawning in the 9 o'clock position as the Yellow Terran down a game, we have Neblime. And currently taking control of the series with a win in game 1, the Purple Protoss BSL5 Tim. And I am going to take a quick bathroom break. Alright, folks. Back. Let's see what happened. Hopefully nothing important. Sorry for the static screen. Alright, so Cybercore. Looks pretty standard from Protoss. We've got a wall at the Le Natural. So, a wall but with factory. So dealing with the ramp map, I guess by walling, but going straight into a factory. Cybercore up. Spark were. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. A good interpretation of the sounds. And for anyone that doesn't know yet, I will plug my tournament. I am hosting a tournament on Saturday. Basically, the idea behind it is just going back in time through the map. So the round of 32 starts at current maps, and each round moves back about 4 years through previous OSLs, with the finals ending on the maps of one of the 2000 OSLs. It's open to anybody. First 32 players to sign up. There is a thread in the TL tournament section, so of course if you want to play that, you are more than welcome to sign up and enjoy the fun. $40 to first place, $10 to second place, so a little bit of money on the line. Nothing huge, but enough to keep it at least a little interesting. You know, for a day of doing something you're already probably going to spend most of the day of doing, chance to win some money. Should be nice. And second gateway, right after expansion, so... Oh, this is 21 Next, huh? Yeah, putting guys back on gas, doing my favorite build, 21 Nexus. Needs to start the Dragoon in this gateway, though. Interesting that he's not. There we go. Pretty nice build. I like it. It's a pretty solid option against FD. You get 4 goons out at FD timing, which is more than enough to handle FD with decent micro. Dragoon being very annoying at the wall. SCV's forced to repair with no bunker. And we're a ways away from tank, at least a little ways away. Very nice pulls though here though. So well handled by Neblime. Oh, they're loving each other, loving on each other. Obviously not going to break down the Devo, but is forcing the repair, forcing SCV pulls. And yeah, I don't know. This is not bad micro from Tim for the interesting situation. Finally, does he get a kill? Yes, he gets 1, but the tank is out now. Bye-bye, Goon. Run away. Run away. Still trying to shoot at the depots. Oh, actually, that's interesting that he can do that. That's very annoying. Killing off the scouting SCV in the midst of all the micro. So he's going to force a little bit more repairing still. All the way until siege mode. Of course, he's only made 1 Dragoon, so not the most terrifying repairs in the world. Siege is done. Gonna move that tank back just a little bit further. Siege up. Second take comes out. We'll probably also siege up. And double gateway. Robo. Second siege. And 2 pack 3. Plus armory. So we're gonna go fast upgrade, sort of long game style here. And Tim with that Robo. And Ob, so yeah, just moving right into the Obs, moving into the comfortable standard play, and the Academy for Neblime. So this is very similar to what we've seen Dark Matter do, honestly. Getting the Command Center out before the tank, and then immediately into the very fast Armory and Academy for Intel. And Tim, similar to the previous game, is going to opt for that fast third Nexus right away off of just about 4 Dragoons. And Tim keeping 2 goons at the front. Nicely positioned away from the tanks. And oh, he's getting out a fast Goliath. Okay, so he's going for the army for the upgrades, but also to chase away a potential shuttle. However, there is not a shuttle coming. Yeah, moving that Goliath back into position and getting a depot up. And oh yeah, definitely worried about shuttle. Which is, I guess, because he hasn't scanned, so he's just playing it very safe. But in the meantime, Protoss is just getting up another Nexus. I've said it before, I don't particularly love that fast forge, especially if you're getting observers out like this. Maybe in the case of this base where you're actually, it's kind of, you've made it into a complete island by walling it off tight like this. Maybe then I understand the forge against the potential dropship, but I'd still maybe rather just leave 2 or 3 Dragoons and wait till you actually see what's going on. Oh, nice noticing of the Obs. Good observation skills there by Neblime to kill off that first Obs. But Protoss did get all the way over here. So he did see the command center, he did see the 3 factories, he saw the armory. He knows what's going on, he knows he's pretty safe right now. He shouldn't really cut probes in favor of gateways, and he's not. And getting a very fast upgrade. Getting a cannon, getting his Citadel up. These Dragoons at the front, I don't know what they're doing. And it looks like, I hope he's just going to his ridge here. This map reminds me ever so slightly of Sniper Ridge. No, sorry, Jade. With the sort of ramp up to the natural and the high ground third base with one entrance. Of course, there are differences, but a subtle reminder. Oh no, is he going to snipe a tank? He's going to come forward. Oh, this is a little bit aggressive here. That is a lot of tanks. Overcommitting there by Tim. Loses a lot of Dragoons in the process. Does snipe off a tank or two, but that was a few too many to go after. A little bit of scare there. You can see no macro in those factories during that attack. It's one of those things you can always be working on as a player, especially for any of us that are below 2K. That tends to happen during those tense moments. You tend to be like, oh shit, I'm getting attacked, and then just one-track mind, must defend, and forget to keep the macro rolling. Second armory going down, third base is up. So that's going to allow Neblime to keep up pretty well economically, and a little bit of a gateway explosion here from Tim now as his third base eco kicks in. We have an art. Oh wow, I don't know about. That's interesting. Getting the archives a little bit late. Got the stargates pretty fast, but the archives a bit slow. That's interesting to build them both over there. That third base is kind of far away. If you lose it, you're vulnerable. This is turning into a marathon cast in its own right. Jeez. And we still have one more series to go. Alright, so we got 2 armories up. But now that I've gone this far, I gotta finish, right? I can't just, let it go. Can't leave like one series uncasted. Alright, so Dragoon's coming down. Oh, actually, alright. Did he attack the Nexus? No way to tell. No way to... Actually, yeah, he did attack. That's why he knows. So, he did attack the Nexus. Not like Supervision Protoss being on top of everything and seeing the Vulture. Vulture alerted him to its presence. Not going to be able to hide down there and snipe any probes. A bold Maynard. Protoss has no obs coverage. Notice this is a Maynard without any Dragoon protection. So that's a pretty bold Maynard. And Neblime just missing that. Just as the scan goes off, he's like, ah. If his Vultures would have been up here a second earlier, could have picked off some thirsty probes. And wow, that's a very aggressively fast third base here, or fourth base here from Neblime. Off of just 5 facts. Very risky. Very risky. Oh, somehow these guys get in. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. A little bit of a slip up gets 4 kills. Can we get a 5th? Yes, we can. 5th? Can we get a 6th? Negative. 5 kills, 3 Vultures. Good trade. Arbiter's on the way. Getting some stasis. We've got a group of tanks here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tanks? 10 tanks? Something like that. Ob's coming over here to look. Very few turrets right now. Very few turrets. He just finished his eBay, I guess. Got his science facility up. Working on those upgrades very nicely, though. Headed towards that 2-1 upgrade at a good timing. And oh, we're going to swing around here. Moving his tanks out into a good position to defend this 4th base. Honestly, if you put like 3 tanks here, this bridge is like almost unbreakable. That's really all he's got to do. So I guess I can understand now in hindsight taking this 4th base pretty fast. The Protoss is moving down here very aggressively again, but does back up. Realizes, oh shit, okay, there's a bunch of tanks out here. I gotta be careful. I think he scouted that with the obs now. Protoss. Oh, we did say Terran was upgrading 2-2, right? Nothing yet with the facility. Is there a vessel out? Doesn't seem like it. Not much out on the map, honestly, in the way of mines anyway. But I guess this is the other way you can defend this base. Just block off this whole position. And oh, that's annoying. These tanks are not quite in position, and Protoss is going to immediately go harass the minerals. Nice. Cute play. Cute play. Doesn't get a ton of kills, but that's obnoxious. Just walk over, harass the third base. And meanwhile, Tim is again grabbing the entire map. Not super huge supply from Tim, who is finally missing some macro pretty bad. Getting a little bit into that cute play and not keeping up on some of the core macro that he could be doing. Macro! Where's the macro? I don't know. Very long idle gateway period. That's kind of scary when Terran's getting big. I'd be scared shitless not to macro like this during this period. There's nothing going on either. I don't know where his focus is at. I guess just expanding. But to miss this many... Like, if Terran pushes now? Ah, yikes. Yikes. Unless he just wants to hold for more Arbiters, but... I don't know. He's got, what, 1, 2, 3 small groups. Where is everything? 4 groups. He's got his army very much all over the place. But it still looks like he has a pretty small army. And he's already got 2 Arbiters in. Like, 4 Arbiters is a pretty good Arbiter number. I don't think you really need to hold off on macro more than that. Finally makes a few more units. Like, that was long enough with nothing going on. I feel like it was probably intentional. Maybe he just wanted more Arbiters, but that seemed a bit on the excessive side. Plus, if he wants more Arbiters, he's, like, gotta hold off there. Oh, was he supply blocked and I just missed it? Neblime is pretty badly supply blocked. If Tim was, I didn't feel like he was, but maybe I just spaced it. I don't know. Alright, so Tim is unfortunately letting Neblime walk into a great position, but Neblime has kind of not laid any mines out in front of this, but this is not how you attack a Terran. This is disastrous. I don't know what Tim is doing right now. He wants to stasis down. Neblime doesn't have really that much stuff over here, though, in spite of his army size, but this is still, it's down to just Dragoons. Some tanks on the high ground. This is very aggressive from Tim. Very determined to bust in here, trying to force his way up on the high ground. Mines are being laid. Yeah, this is overextension for what he got out of this. He is going to sort of break this, but Neblime should get over here and reinforce this. Oh no, Neblime was only at 160 though, wasn't he? His supply wasn't that high. It was maybe a little bit early of a push from Neblime. Well, I don't know. If Tim actually gets on top and gets all these tanks, that's not a bad trade. But it seems like Neblime had nothing to reinforce with. A nice little vulture up there, though. Alright, so he cleans this up, so that turns out good for Tim. This is very aggressive, almost bad. This vulture is going to go ham on these probes for a little while. Should notice right about now. Yeah, suddenly nothing's going on. No, I was talking about Tim not macroing, though. I was looking at his gateways. Neblime also was stuck at 160 for ages. Man, where's Neblime's stuff? He has very little. Where is he keeping out? He's just kind of small right now. I'm scared for Neblime. Protoss has the whole map, and Neblime is, like, really not getting out a whole lot of macro. He's getting some more factories up, though, which is good. Catching a vulture over here, and Arbiter scrambling back into position. Alright, we got an obs with that, so we can clear out these mines pretty well. Another small group moving down here. Vulture's laying a bunch of mines. Oh, this base is pretty undefended, but actually get some... This is going to be kind of units all everywhere. We'll see how it goes. Vulture's running by. Does lose some zealots to those mines, but not too bad overall. And another group of vultures moving over here with these tanks. And, oh, jackpot. Move that Arbiter. Move that Arbiter. Yeah, nice, Tim. Remembers and pays attention to his Arbiter there. Scan is thrown down, though, so he's going to get all the probes, but the Arbiter was a good thought to try to save some of them. Anytime you're having to scramble back with Zealots, not ideal. And wow, nice. Good EMP there. Going to keep the Arbiter energy. He doesn't even know the Arbiter was out of energy, so it just dies the turrets. So good save there with that Science Vessel. So heads up play from both players in the defense of this Nexus, but now Protoss is looking to move in. And the army is pretty well spread, but it's not that big, but I guess Tim doesn't actually pull the trigger. Doesn't want to go for it. Neblime now maxed. Or very close to it. Should be on his 2-1. I don't think oh no, he is. Okay, good upgrades. Protoss just at 1. So slow upgrades for Protoss here. Especially considering how fast that forge was. Obviously upgrades forgotten for quite some time. This amount of money. Definitely not a conscious decision not to upgrade. It's definitely just other things are going on, forgetting to upgrade. And now Neblime moving onto this high ground, looking to take a 5th base. So yeah, some major economy here from both players. Of course, we can see Protoss has more than half the map. He has all of these expansions, plus the 2 edge expansions, the 2 edge cases. Terran only has has three edge cases. Terran only has 1 edge case. And again, just allowing Terran to sneak around the map like this. Not quite as good at obs coverage and presence as we saw on Fighting Spirit here. There we go, now he sees it. But Neblime is... Well, yeah, this is not going to go well for Neblime. One fat stasis is all this needs. Oh, but good EMPs! Maybe this will go okay for him, but that's a lot of Protoss coming in here. Got most of the tanks seized up, just not enough Zealots. Zealots are on top of the tanks now. Target firing is okay, but again, that's another decent trade from Protoss. Actually, he like ran out of scans for a moment there, and Protoss is again going to clean up another army. Vulture's arriving to reinforce this, but that went well for Tim. Anytime you clear out all the tanks completely, you're going to target down the vessel, not a bad choice. Bisu is a huge fan of doing that. And vessels are pretty obnoxious, so I get it now. He's going to be forced back. He has lost most of his units, and rallying in just 2 or 3 units, not the approach to take. Finally has some units popping out of the gateways. Getting some units coming from over here. Yeah, if he gets everything together, I don't think Neblime's got enough to hold on to this position. Very zealot-heavy macro, but just coming down here trying to deal with some of these mines, get everything cleaned up. Whoa! I don't know where these zealots are going, but they're going straight into the minefield and vultures, so those guys are not helping out the cause at all. Possibly misrallied, possibly just trying to distract and scare Neblime. It looks like Zealot's moving very carefully forward here onto this base. Needs to keep a few Dragoons on top of these tanks, which this is not on top of these tanks. This is not on top of these tanks, and now the fight for this base begins. Are we going to have just a crazy reinforcing battle? I don't know. We've already got a lift on the CC. Target firing with the Dragoons. The Zealots are going to occupy this long enough. Tanks on oh, they're under an Arbiter, though, and not going to be noticed. So he's actually going to kill off those 3 tanks. And that command center goes down. Nice snipe on that for Tim, keeping Neblime pinned back to 4th bases as he moves the command center over here, though, to try to get back to 5. Scan goes down. Tanks are picked off. And here comes some major reinforcements, but the mines are still very good right now for Neblime, so we'll see how this goes. Got a pretty good army up here on the high ground. I think Neblime can hold this spot the way he's defending right now with the high ground. Protoss running in here, trying to get somewhere from all sides. You almost got to zoom out to see this entire fight going everywhere. And actually there's no tanks, but I think still just enough for Neblime to maintain his high ground pod for the moment, but reinforcing like crazy right now. As Neblime gets that cleaned up here on top. Still has his 4 bases. But the game is getting a bit messy here as Tim is just sensing that he can continue to stream units here and eventually break Neblime at this point. And these units are just coming in from all over the place. I'm not sure if it's 100% effective. No, Neblime's got a lot of stuff up here. Alright, Tim's got to back up now. He's not breaking this much stuff without some good stasis or something like that going on. Let's see if he can keep the tank target firing solid on the Dragoons. Looks like it. Dragoons are now melting. So for the moment, location secured. Can get a few more mines on the map now. Can Neblime, but his money is not super high. And he's... Oh, I don't know. Wait, when did this... Oh, he floated the command center here to move to here. That's what he did. I wondered where that command center came from. He actually floated away from his mining 3rd. I'm like 99%. I'm going to go... Maybe I made an observer gaff and totally missed something going down here. But the fact that this CC just floated over, I'll go back and check that at the end of this game. But if he did, I have to say I think that's a blunder. To float away from here. Because nothing's dead over here. I don't think this died to a recall or something like that we just totally missed. And now, what the what? Oh no! A recall sneaks in over here. That is 0 mining for Neblime. I think Neblime has just about lost this. It's pretty hard to win when you're not mining. Command center snipe. Are we 100%? Yes, we are 100%. Command center is sniped. Brutal. Now going back to land this base. SCVs are just running all over the place. Barely has a hold on this base. No minefields. Next wave of reinforcements will break Neblime completely. Turn rate is basically like latency. Like the lower the turn rate, the more delay there is. So like if turn rate's on like 1, if you click and move a Dragoon, it'll respawn like 1/1000 and it'll finally move. If the turn rate's 24, the second you click, it's almost instantaneous. Alright, so this base cleaned up. Reinforcements coming out from Tim all over the place as he is completely maxed. I think this is going to be the final punch that breaks Neblime's one base of mining. These Dragoons are busy being Dragoons. Without an obs. Oh, actually, Protoss is going to go right down the gut of Terran. Alright. Alright. That can work. There's no mines. He's going to definitely bust the ramp. Quick thinking to build a wall, but it's not going to last long. So we're going to have Zealots on top of that tank. Good siege on the ramp. But, I mean, what's he got? He's got, like, 10 tanks. I'm going to leave this base totally... Now, what I would love to see now is just split a small amount over in, like, recall. Because, like, you've obviously busted the main. There's literally... I mean, you can even see that some of the factories are barely making. A couple tanks popping. Oh, actually, this is not the best way to fight this army, but it is buying time if he wants to move down the ramp. D-Matrix going off on a random vulture. Not a critical vulture. And this army is just slowly getting picked apart here. There's just too much Protoss. And Neblime is basically out of stuff. And Zealots flooding in on top of all the factories. Neblime is securing the base over here, but I'm not sure it matters at this point. This last little bit is trying to do something, but we got Zealots on top of the tanks. Actually, Dragoons are melting. Moving on top of them, can't quite kill them, but Neblime does say GG. And now I just want to see one thing, and that's I want to make sure that base did not, like, die to... What am I doing that does this? It turns off all of these. I even knew what it was earlier. Alright, so this base has not died to recall. If this base died to recall and I missed it, guys, I'm probably just going to, like, quit. But I think he floated this. Oh, okay, well he did... Okay, so it didn't die to a recall, but a few units did scare him away from it. And then he floated it to move over to this base. Interesting. Where's my other little tab at the right? How do I turn that back on? I don't know all the keys. There we go. Okay, so it wasn't a recall. It was like a couple units snuck over.